We're one of a kind, no category. Too many failures in his story. We're free to fuck up our planet story for 5 more minutes. We're human. Whoa, whoa, we're human. And I'm going to apologise for the really bad singing now. I can't sing. That's been established. You know, it's for comedic effect, I hope, I think. I'll improve on the singing because I now apparently have signed up to do a performance of Six at the next Bring the Club to Us night when we are eventually reunited in Winchester. That's an announcement to Cornelius and Mimi who are listening to this. Me and Saffron have already. We're penning out our next performance. You'll be doing some more Phantom. I'll be doing some from Six, and I'll try and sing better than that. I probably won't. I can't sing. How are you, everybody? And welcome to another episode of You Have Failed with me, SaiyanVader. And this week it's going to be slightly different. More talking about how everyone is doing in quarantine. I know I can't actually talk to you guys. It'll be more how I'm dealing with quarantine, what I'm doing to keep myself entertained. And the little snippet there, that was, some of you out there might recognise it. So I'm a bit comfy sitting down again. Might recognise it. Some of you won't. That is from the musical Six. It's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, watched it, listened to it, I encourage you to do so. Yeah, I think my favourite cast for it is the original West End one. I just think their voices are the best. But yeah, obviously each their own. They all do a good job. There are shows on Broadway and in Australia, and I think there's one in Chicago. Like there are loads, and it's brilliant. And that is relevant because we'll get to that, I'm sure, at some point, as that'll probably make up the meat of this, I suppose. Because what I've been doing in quarantine a lot is listening and watching to Six a lot. But we'll go over a few other things first. So as I do genuinely hope everyone is okay. But one thing I've been doing a lot I've been doing a lot of, yes, very good. One thing I have been doing a lot of in quarantine is gaming. And I'm sure a lot of other people out there have been doing similar at the moment. I don't know what games you've been playing. I personally have been playing either Battlefront 2, God of War 3, which is my favourite God of War game. I do like the PS4 one, but there's something about classic Kratos screaming at the top of his lungs, Zeus! That just... Although Ares is a close second. Probably better of a scream, but that's digressing. And the other game, the game I've probably been playing the most, I'm more talking sort of just me and myself at the moment, not family games, is Apex Legends, a game which I have been playing a lot on my YouTube channel actually, so please do go and check out my latest YouTube videos. I say latest, the latest one as of recording this and when it will be uploaded is a Battlefront 2 one, but before that there was a string of maybe 6 or so Apex Legends videos. Please do go check them out at my YouTube channel at SaiyanVader. That is a shameless plug, but I don't care because I have been playing a lot of Apex. It's a good fun battle royale game. I'm not a fan of Fortnite. I know they're very similar, but I think there's more tactics maybe in Apex. I might be upsetting some people here. This is just my opinion, but I feel like Apex is more because yeah, you don't have the building side of it, but I don't really like the building thing anyway. I just think it makes things annoying. But you have all the legends with their abilities, you can use them in certain ways and tactically, and it has that skill level to it. And I just prefer it more because it's got the lore behind it and the, all the legends are their own characters, and I really enjoy that about the game. And it's just a fun game to go around dying all the time. Plus I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2 as well, that needs no explaining. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. And, what was the other one? God of War. I love God of War. Other things I had sort of been doing more gaming as a family, of course, Mario Kart. It's the big game in my family. It's a bit of Mario Kart. Do love Mario Kart, and it's just fun to play. And that's the important thing about quarantine is you gotta keep spirits high and keep yourself entertained, and that's why I say spirits high. I've just, before recording this is currently, as I speak to you now, well not as I speak to you, as you listen to this it won't be, but as I'm recording this, it's 2:15 in the morning, and I have just finished an assignment for university. It was on Roman Samian ware. My god, it was boring, and genuinely the only thing that got me through because I did have the songs from Six just playing on repeat through the whole thing. Six has been getting me through this quarantine, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been listening to loads of different songs, quite a few Disney songs. Go the Distance has been one of my quarantine songs. What other songs did I say have been my quarantine songs? The Star Wars soundtrack, obviously, that goes without saying. But I'd say my quarantine songs have either been Go the Distance, I've been listening to that a lot, or yeah, Six, I think. The songs I like most from Six, I'd say, thank you for asking, are Ex-Wives, which is the opening song, Don't Lose Your Head, which is Anne Boleyn's song, or then Six, which is the sort of culmination song where they all sing their part and they get together as Six. Anne Boleyn might have a bit of bias towards it because even in history, before all the music and everything, Anne Boleyn was my favourite of the six famous wives. I won't get into that now and bore you with a history lesson, because I've realised very recently when I've been talking about it, I have quite an encyclopedic knowledge of Anne Boleyn's life. It's really weird. I don't know really where it came from. I learned about the Tudors way back in year 4, and apparently I retained it all. But obviously learned stuff along the way. The fact that she wasn't actually as evil as history makes her out to be, but that's not the point. And I keep obviously going back to Six, but I want to leave that for the big chunk, because just, you know, quarantine is one of those things where you just have to do little things to keep yourself entertained. So that's why I have been doing more YouTubing. I've been doing, I've done I think a week straight now of content. This today you're listening to this will probably be the first day I don't have a video up, and that's because I was doing an assignment and I'm doing this. So this is sort of a replacement for a video, I suppose, in terms of I'm just putting out a podcast instead. So I'm still making content and keeping myself entertained and happy. And it is just the little things like that, you know, that just keep you going. I've been watching lots of TV shows. I've been watching Arrow. I've been watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! The series, I was about to say the series I've been watching, but then I realised I've been watching a bit of Duel Monsters GX, 5Ds, Zexal, and Arc 5. So I've been watching pretty much all of them recently, because those 5 are all on Amazon Prime. So I'll just pick and choose when I want which duel I want to watch. Been playing a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself as well. Just another thing to just, you know, just keep you going. What else have I been doing? This is just me trying to think, because this is different to what I normally do, where I normally have a set topic to talk about, but I thought in the wake of everything going on, quarantine and everything, it'd be nice to have more of a talk about how to get through it and how I'm getting through it, because I will admit, let's go a bit serious now. In the first couple of days, weeks of quarantine, I was struggling a lot actually, to the point where that's my brother, who's apparently not asleep and stomping through the house. That's nice. Sorry if you picked that up. But my room is not soundproof. I would have thought doing this at 2:20 in the morning would make sure I got quiet, but that's good. We make moves. Yeah, no, the first couple of weeks I genuinely I was suffering from anxiety a lot. Just on a more serious note, getting down. The basics, being completely open with everyone here, I was definitely suffering with that a lot. I don't think I told really anyone. Maybe 1 or 2 people knew that I was struggling. Because I know that everyone else was struggling with their own things. A lot of things brought it on. I had some stuff going on in my life before that, which I'm not going into. And then I think just the separation from friends, not being able to go out and see people or just do things, just really started to get to me, I think. And yeah, so I was having a pretty shit time, and you know, I sort of just got through that by slapping myself and saying, just repeatedly having to tell myself, not slap myself because that sounds too harsh. You've got to be nice with yourself and a friend or family member who's going through stuff like that, and just remind yourself that it is in your head. And I know that's easier said than done, but sometimes just confronting it is easier. I think what made it easier for me is accepting that this might take a while. I've got to accept that. What can I then do to distract myself from the fact that I can't see people? And obviously, one thing to do is if you miss someone, text them, call them, talk to them. You know, yes, you can't physically be with them, give them a hug or whatever it is you do with your friends, but you can still talk to them, because that's the brilliance of the internet at the moment, of phones. You can talk to those people. So that's one important thing I'd say is talk to people. Just, you miss them, send them a text, just saying, hey, how you doing? Just simple things that go through that, because I mean, I think one thing that I think made me worse, and this might just be the way I am, I know some of my closest friends were going through some stuff, and that made me stress more about them, and knowing I couldn't do anything to help probably then started almost like a feedback loop into my brain, which then caused my own anxiety. But you know, as I say, I sort of worked past it by distracting myself with silly little things. So it'd be, you know, watching a YouTube video that made me laugh, in my room dancing along to the soundtrack of Six. I'm not going to deny it, I was doing it. So guys, when you get that performance in Bring the Club to Us night, you're getting a full-on performance. I've got somewhat of a routine planned out. But, you know, it's just silly things like that, dancing around. Like the other day, it's a thing that happened. My family, so there's me, my mum, my dad, and my two brothers, we're in the living room. We'd just had dinner. My brother had done a barbecue because he loves doing that sort of thing, so he just done that for us. It was lovely food. And then we were in the living room. We were just listening to stupid songs, and then we remembered my younger brother Reese. He loved the Cha Cha Slide when he was younger, so we put that on. And then him and my other little brother, the youngest one, Shay, were just in the living room, just dancing along to the Cha Cha Slide, and we were all just laughing, having fun. Every Sunday, my family, so that's me, my mum, my dad, Reese, and my brothers, will FaceTime with my aunt, uncle, and two cousins, and then my mum and my uncle's cousin and her husband. And we'll all do a family quiz. Each week, someone takes it in turns to do the quiz. I did the questions the first week, my uncle did it the next week, then my uncle's cousin did it that week, my two cousins did it this week, and I think my dad's doing it next week. So, you know, we all have, we've just been trying to interact with those people and stuff like that as well, and it's having those small little moments of fun. As I've been just bored, so I'll put on the soundtrack to Six. By soundtrack, I mean the versions that I downloaded from the internet of the West End cast singing it, because the soundtrack doesn't have them in it. So, and I'll just be boogieing in my room to a bit of Don't Lose Your Head, or, you know, Six, the song, not the musical, but the song is also called Six. It's confusing. And just simple things like that, or, you know, sitting down and making a YouTube video, because it's time consuming, but at times like this, being time consuming is good. I can sit down for maybe a 3-hour recording session, play through loads of games of Apex, either with a friend or without a friend, have some fun, and then at the end I'll edit it, do the voiceover, add the intro and everything, and then just throw out a video. And yeah, I might not get many views. I think I get more listens to the podcast than I do views on my YouTube videos. So if you want to go and check out my YouTube videos, please do. But don't feel free, because I just do it as long as I'm entertaining someone, and that's the whole point of the podcast on YouTube, knowing that in this time, obviously in general, any time I do it, as long as I'm entertaining someone, I'm happy, because someone has enjoyed, in the case of the podcast, 40 odd minutes of me talking, and you know, they've got some enjoyment from it, and that makes me happy. But especially in times like quarantine, the fact that I'm putting out YouTube videos and I'm getting at least some views, some listens, it really makes me feel better knowing that I'm at least cheering someone up in some way. And actually, I'd like to give a massive shout out. I know I didn't do it. I did it half-heartedly in my latest YouTube video, but I really hope you listen to this. Thank you so much to Saffron. Genuinely a shout out to her, because she has been so supportive of my YouTube videos and of my podcasts, and she watches all the videos, she comments on it. She created a YouTube channel just so she could like and comment on my videos. I mean, that is brilliant. And she listens to the podcast every week as well, so a massive thank you to her. I genuinely, on YouTube, in podcasts, in real life, give Saffron so much shit. Like, as a friend, like, not horribly, but I take the piss out of her all the time. But genuinely, I'm going to be nice for a minute, Saffron, and then I'll take the piss out of you in a minute. Genuinely, thank you so much for all the support you've given at the moment. It's support like that that does keep me going as well, knowing that, you know, you're enjoying what I'm putting out there. You don't even like playing games or Apex, or you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, but you've enjoyed watching my stuff, you've enjoyed listening to my stuff, and that genuinely, stuff like that means the world to me. It's stuff like that that we need at the moment. So genuinely, thank you so much to Saffron, because And I've been having lots of fun conversations with Saffron during quarantine as well. Not arguing. We've actually been agreeing for once on this is a serious topic that this is what happens when you go to uni and you do history and you're mad. Agreeing on how women were very influential in history but get downtrodden. Two of the most influential people being Anne Boleyn and Cleopatra. We think Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, almost beat the Romans. Very, very, very almost. Sadly, she didn't. And Saffron knows so much about her. If she was here, she could talk for God knows how many hours. Anne Boleyn, let's be fair, is the reason the English Reformation happened. She didn't cause it, but she was the reason for it, and she was very influential in leading England into that new period. And then obviously, much like Cleopatra, got done dirty at the last moment, and that's all they wrote. But that aside, that's just what we've been talking about recently. Genuinely, thank you so much, Saffron, even though you are a fairy troll. There we go, back to the status quo, because we have been having loads of fun conversations recently as well, and making very, very obscene jokes. But it is stuff like that I think is important. It's talking with your friends even though you're miles away. Get on a video call, use House Party, Zoom, Discord, there's a Google one, I don't know what it's called, FaceTime, Snapchat, WhatsApp, anything. Just talk to your friends. It's what we need at the moment. It's all about coming together. And now I'm going to take it slightly back to 6 again. As you can see, 6 is kind of the focus of this, but that's just because it's what I think has been getting me through the most, and I've been having fun just dancing around to 6 and watching all the YouTube videos. Although getting a bit depressed that the original cast aren't there anymore and 3 of them are left, but that's a whole nother issue that I cry myself to sleep over at other times. But no, seriously, yeah. So I saw it actually was released 2 days ago, but I only saw it today. I think it was today. Yesterday would have been yesterday, so that would have been Monday. This is Tuesday. There was a thing where they got all, I think it was 300 people who have actually been in the show 6, all to record them singing Ex-Wives and 6. But they also got thousands of fans from around the world as well, and obviously all the actresses or performers, whatever you want to call them, because they obviously sing, dance, not just actors, from around the world as well, and mashed it into one video, like old and new. So you got the original 6 West End cast back, which I was really happy about, to see them all together again. Obviously not together, it was just their faces on their screens that they recorded in their homes in quarantine. But just a project like that where everyone comes together singing, just enjoying. That's the sort of thing we need at the moment. Yeah, we're locked in our houses, we can't go out and rave together, but we can still rave together. We can still enjoy our favourite songs, sing to them together. We can't go to the pub and raise a glass, but you can online raise a glass. There was that drinking challenge on Instagram that came out, I don't know how long ago that was now, but simple things like that just, yeah, we're far apart, but we're really not. And I think that's really the message of this episode that I'm trying to get across. I know the intro song was a bit depressing, talking about failing as a human race, but I will get into what that meant in a minute. One, I wanted to use 6 as the intro song thing, like the gag I've been doing for the last few weeks. And I also, obviously, the show Still You Have Failed, it's got a feature being a failure in there somewhere. But the reason I've chose those lyrics is to sort of provide an irony to the fact that what I'm talking about is the fact that as a human race, whilst ironically, me as a person, most of the time I think the human race is a failure. Like, we just fuck everything up. Maybe I'm being a bit over exaggeration there. Like, we aren't that bad, but I tend to look at things like, oh, why have we done that, this, that, and the other. But genuinely, during this time of crisis, the irony of using that at the start is the fact that I don't really think that I think we're doing well here. We're realising what really matters in life, and that isn't, all the glitz and glamour. It's human connections, right? I've come to realise that myself during this isolation, that human connections, I think, are really not what just make us human. They're what make us alive. They're what makes life worth living. And I'm probably going to regret these words because they're going to come back to bite me in the arse and someone's going to bring it up at some point. But genuinely, human connections are what makes life worth living. And I think people are realizing that. They're realizing there's a new way to life. It's not about being self-centered and egotistical. It's about your friends and your family, and the fact that no matter how far apart you are, you always have your friends and your family, right? And obviously, it's excluding, obviously, some people might not get on with their families, and that's different. I'm not saying you have to be nice to people if you don't get on with them. All I'm saying is no one is ever really alone, and I think I hope this quarantine has really showed that. I saw a really nice story the other day. An old woman, it's in like a block of flats or something. I think it was in America, and she lived on her own. So she got a note and she put it on like the door of the lobby to the building. She's saying, "Oh, hello, I'm Ethel. I can't think of her name. Right, I live in flat, and the number was blurred out. I live on my own, and I'm just looking for some things to get entertained. I've read all my books. I've read all my DVD. I've watched all my DVDs. If anyone here has any spare books or DVDs, please just leave them outside my door, and I'll make sure to give them a watch or read." And then a few days later, there was another note on the door saying, "Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed by everything you people have given to me. In fact, when I'm done with the books and DVDs, I will leave them down here in the lobby so that anyone else who wants to read a new book or watch a new DVD can read them, and then we can constantly be sharing our things." And it's stuff like that you make human connections through this. It's so weird how it's taken us to be on lockdown to start making genuine human connections these days. Because I saw another thing. It was a woman living somewhere. This one was in Britain, and I think she turned 98. And obviously her family couldn't see her. They couldn't. So she was on her own for her 98th birthday. One of the people down the street found out. So the next day he went down the whole street, knocked on everyone's doors, social distancing obviously, he stayed like far away, knocked on the doors and then sort of walked back, and asked everyone if they would come out and sort of stand outside their houses, obviously within social distancing rules. Then he went and got the old woman, again all social distancing, and they all came out, and the whole street sang happy birthday to her, clapped her, wished her a happy birthday, and the woman was brought to tears, so overwhelmed by all the support. She found it hard to try not to hug people, but obviously she didn't for social distancing rules. And then she even said, "When this is all over, I want to have a street party with all of you to celebrate." So that street all agreed, and I know that, and I hope that that's put on Facebook somewhere so I can see the results of that, that they will have that street party when this is all over. And it just amazes me that human connections are being made. Well, it doesn't amaze me because that's what humans are and that's what humans do, but I'm impressed. I'm so happy that during this time of crisis, we are learning how to make human connections. We are learning what's important to us. It's not the car we drive, it's not the house we live in. It's people in our lives that matter. It's the people in our lives that make our lives worth living. And that's something I say I've come to realise recently as well, from maybe just before the quarantine as well, and into it, that people really do matter and they shape your lives. You are the sum of the people you have known and the people that have influenced you, and that is important. And it's during this time we should take the time to influence others, and that's what I'm liking about it. We are making genuine connections. I've got closer with some friends. I've just been talking with some I was already really close with, and just keeping in touch. I remember I then did a quiz with some of my friends, just for fun, just silly little things. And that's what it is. It's the silly little things that also keep you going. So it's not just sort of my TED talk over, I think, about the inspirational and more deep content. Now we're going to get into the silly crap. But no, it is silly little things as well. Like I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh with my brother. I've been reading books, playing Cards Against Humanity, playing Pokemon, right? It's all these weird and wonderful things. I've been going on walks with my mum. One thing I am going to do, and I'm hoping to be doing this, well, by the time you're listening, I would have hopefully done this. But today, tomorrow, it's Tuesday morning, so today, I'm hoping to, if my mum's not too busy, say, "Look, Mum, I know you haven't seen 6 yet. I may or may not have found a bootleg somewhere of the show that may or may not have been recorded. And I'm going to say, Mum, I know you haven't seen it. I think you'd really like it. I might just sit down with my mum for the hour and a quarter and watch Six, right? Because, as I say, it's something that's genuinely been keeping me going at the moment. The amount of times I've just been walking around my room going, sorry, not sorry about what I said. I just want to have some fun. Don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. We're going to sing the whole song. LOL, say oh well, or go to hell. Sorry, not sorry about what I said. Sorry about the singing. No, but or the amount of times I've been sitting there doing the fucking dance to Six at the end, like all the moves to one of a kind of category, too many years, like, you know. And before anyone asks, you will not be getting a performance, except for bringing the club to us tonight, because as I say, me and Saffron got the plan for you guys, Mimi and Cornelius. You're gonna love it. That's how bored we've been. We've been planning our own bring West End to Winchester for the bring the club to us tonight. This is what's happening in my head at the moment. So yeah, genuinely I am going insane in isolation, but you've just got to find those silly little things. You know, like, when was it? Maybe a week or so ago, my brother, he came into our room and went, Ewan, this is Shay, by the way, the youngest of the three, went, Ewan. I went, yes, Shay. Well, actually, I probably said yes, Stinky, because that's what I call him. I don't call him Shay. I hardly ever call him Shay. It's weird saying it now. I was like, yes, Stinky. And he went, I've improved my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I went, well, you're still going to lose then. He went, prove it. I went, alright then, let me get the game mats out. He went, no. I went, what do you mean no? We're playing on game mats. I'm not putting my cards on your manky floor in your room. He went, no. Get your dual discs. I was like, oh, I see what it is. And we genuinely put on my dual discs, which are obviously the things you attach to your arm in Yu-Gi-Oh! That in the show have the hologram projectors that project the monsters and cards. And we went outside, we had that on, we put our decks and everything, and we played using the dual discs, pretending that we were in the show. And yeah, it's completely ridiculous and childish and stupid. But you know what? Me and my brother had so much fun going out. I remember there was one point where we went, I activate the field spell, Realm of Light. You need to imagine now that you're in a realm of light. And it was so stupid. I know it doesn't sound funny now, but in the moment, it was so ridiculous that it was funny. And it's just little ridiculous little things like that that really keep me going. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Tom and Jerry. I love Tom and Jerry. Don't anyone disses Tom and Jerry, they're wrong. Tom and Jerry is a masterpiece. I've been watching a lot of the original Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, Doctor Who, right? Primeval. I love Primeval. Primeval's sick. Primeval will probably get its own episode. Quite a few of the things I've mentioned will probably get their own episode. Six is probably definitely going to get its own episode. Which means, shit, I'm going to need to rewrite another one of the songs into a failure-based jingle. I struggled with that one, if I'm honest. No, I'll think about it. Right? I've got time. Yeah, it's just Star Wars. We all know I watch a lot of Star Wars. We've been watching a load of that, right? I've got my plans for May the 4th set as well. The new series of the Clone Wars. Amazing. But May the 4th, I've genuinely got my plans. Midnight strike. So, obviously, the day is May the 3rd. The minute it goes midnight, starting May the 4th, Phantom Menace goes on. I worked out you can get through 1 to 9, not including Solo and Rogue One, in, I think, just over 20-ish hours. So that gives me about 4 hours to use the toilet and eat in between. But midnight, Phantom Menace, all the way through to Rise of Skywalker. Yes, I will put myself through the pain of watching the sequels, but it is what it is. I've got a full-on marathon Skywalker saga. That will be happening. That's even another stupid plan that I've got. You can still make plans in quarantine. Let's say we've got our weekly quizzes. Then there's the virtual pub quiz that this guy does on YouTube every week that we tend to tune into as well. And, you know, I've been spending a lot of time with my family, which is something, to be fair, I did do before. But I suppose I didn't because I would have been at uni and stuff, or at work, at the cinema. And whilst I do genuinely miss being at work, so I miss my friends, and I miss working, I miss having something to do with my time, it's been nice, the fact that I've been able to spend more time with my mum, my dad, and brothers. And, I'm not going to say appreciate them more, because I'm not too sure on that, especially my brothers. But it's the little things It really is. And I know I've said that a lot, but it's so true. At times like this, you just got to find something that's making you happy, or just keeping you entertained for a slight moment. If you want to play cards with someone, there must be a way. I know with Yu-Gi-Oh, you've got Duel Links, and you've got Yu-Gi-Oh Pro and Dueling Nexus and Dueling Books. You've got loads of ways you can duel people online. That's fine, but there must be things for other card games as well. I know there's Magic the Gathering, there's Star Wars Destinies, Vanguard. That's a card game. Yeah, I'm sure there's things online for all of those as well. And you just got to find these things and keep it and just keep your spirits high by keeping yourselves entertained. And if you are struggling, remember, please, this is going more into a PSA again now, but genuinely, if you are struggling, please do try and remember that you're not on your own. Yes, you might be so far away from your loved ones. I am, right? There are people right now I wish I could see so much. People like my nan, who's on her own at the moment. Both my nans are on their own at the moment. And I wish so bad that I could be there for them right now, so they don't have to go through this alone. I feel so terrible that they are so on their own. And I know other people miss friends, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever relationships you have with people. People are missing them, but you're not alone. Yes, a phone call isn't the same as being in the room with them, but you can still talk to them. You can still share moments with them via the internet, via phones. That's what they're here for. They are here to bring people together. So if you are struggling, you really aren't alone. And actually, if you are struggling, genuinely, and you need someone to talk to, just even as a friend, do go onto either my Twitter, my personal one, not the show page, because I only really check that when I'm posting a new episode up. But my personal one, go onto a personal Twitter or the Discord server. Go onto the Discord server, join You Have Failed, and then send me a direct message. Obviously, I wouldn't expect you to put your own personal problems in the Discord server. Send me a private message, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as I can, and stuff like that. Genuinely, I'm putting myself out there now. I will do stuff like that. If there's someone out there who needs just someone to talk to, genuinely, I'll put myself out there. At the moment, I'm not always the best at advice, but I will try my best to be just someone to talk to. And actually, to be fair, at this point, I still don't think anyone has joined the Discord server. But that's actually another good idea. If we are all lonely, why not build up this You Have Failed community? Join the Discord server and make new friends in the Discord server. Have chats about things you think have failed, or just anything in general. And make those human connections while you can. So whilst that is sort of a plug for my Discord server, so people will finally join it, do join it and then become part of a community and talk, make new friends, and or as I say, if you need someone specifically you don't want to talk about in public, go on to my Twitter at Vader Saiyan. I know it's all linked on King's Eye's website at Vader Saiyan, or join the Discord server. The link for that is also on King's Eye's website. And send me a private message if you want. I'm not against that. I will talk to anyone who wants to be spoken to at the moment, because as I say, human connections are genuinely important, and it's human connections that have really saved me at the moment from my anxiety I was having a few weeks ago. Because I do suffer from anxiety, I'm not going to deny that, and it was really playing up, but friends and family have really got me through that, so I am happy to help out anyone out there who needs help as well. Because times are shit, right? They really are. Times are not. I just coughed. Maybe I've got the Rona, but times aren't great. Times aren't fun. We're all struggling. We're all struggling in our own ways. We've all got our own things going on. But we've got to remember that people are what make us who we are, and that is what is important here. It's the people and the little things we do to keep ourselves entertained. Or the little people, shout out to Saffron. Sorry, I had to. I was too nice to you earlier in the video, so I had to make fun of your vertically challengedness right now. Sorry, not sorry about what I said. I'm just trying to have some fun. Literally, if you completely blanked out the song earlier, Saffron's going to be the only person who gets that reference, but I don't care. Other people might if you've watched 6, but I don't care. There's no way you're going to bother me with it. Because all you want to do is have some fun in quarantine. And, you might do that in the House of Holbein. Or you could be really cold at the moment with a heart of stone and say, I don't need your love. Or, say, I don't need you, I'm the queen of the castle, get down, you dirty rascal. Or, you might be thinking, welcome to the show, to the history remix. I couldn't think of anything for ex-wives. Yeah, that was can you unplug all of the songs from 6 Central, and I did. So I'd love to say I'm ashamed of what I just did, but I'm not. I'm really not. Because that's that's the quarantine life, right? It's just stupid. The world's in lockdown. Everything's gone tits up. No one gives a shit anymore. What day is it? I only know what day it is because I'm releasing the podcast today. If I wasn't, fuck knows what day it is, right? So you've just got to do stupid things. Was me putting in the title or lyrics from every single song in the album of 6 completely ridiculous? Yes. Did I find it funny? Yes. Does that make it worth it? 100%. Right? Because this quarantine's crap, right? Let's be level, guys. It's crap. It's stupid. We all want it to be over. Honestly, I don't like being locked up, right? So you just gotta make yourself laugh with the silly thing, or maybe not even laugh, but if you like a horror film, shit yourself while watching a horror film. If you like romance, let your heart get broken in a romance. Or whatever happens in romance films. I don't know if their hearts break at some point and they get fixed again. I don't really watch them. If you like comedies, laugh your ass off. If you love an action film, go around shooting those bad guys. If you love a sci-fi film, jump in your spaceship and fly away. If you love fantasy, go and fly on a giant eagle and fight a talking lion and throw a ring into a volcano. If you love pornography, Pornhub Premium's free, right? There's stuff for everyone during quarantine. Sorry, I had to get in some form of joke. I feel like this has been far too serious, and that is not my style. But that's the thing. None of this is about style at the moment. I have no style anyway as a human being. I don't care. I tend not to care what people think about me. But this isn't about style or how people have. This isn't about that. This is a serious thing. This is about people. And no, I don't regret putting in the jokes because I do want to have it be light-hearted as well. But I do recognise that this is a more serious You Have Failed episode, and I will get to the crux of have we failed in a bit. But do please find those things right now that just make you happy. It could be anything. You want to build a Lego set? Build a Lego set. You want to do a puzzle? Do a puzzle. You want to sit and birdwatch in your garden? Which is really something that I do, and I love it. It's great. Get into birdwatching. It's amazing. Go and sit and watch your birds in your garden and enjoy that. Fuck. Sorry, I just a ring on my finger just caught the skin on another finger as I put my hands together and it pinched me. But I'm fine. I'm good. I'm alive. But no, it's just do something that makes you happy. Who cares if other people think it's weird? I know other people think I'm a bit weird for doing my bird watching. I don't care. I enjoy it. Do people think I'm weird in my bedroom dancing around to 6 in my jogging bottom shorts and my baggy t-shirt because I don't need to look good. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, it might be weird. But I don't give a shit as I'm going around like, we're 6. Whoa, we're 6. Whoa, ho, 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 we're six. Because I can't sing, I can't dance. But literally, it's about just doing all you can to have fun. If you do, you cannot fucking speak right at the end of the episode. If you are fortunate enough to share your accommodation with someone and you are fortunate enough to get on with them, brilliant. Spend time with them, enjoy it. If you are on your own, video call as many people as you can. Try and get maybe in touch with your community in a social distancing manner. I know people have been having social distancing street parties. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not going to advise it or not advise it because I don't know what the rules be, and stuff like that. And that is what it is. People have fun. That's what quarantine is. And before I end, I would like to reiterate. Sorry, I had to think about what I was going to do in what order because my head is trying to work out the best way to do this. If you do need someone to talk to, you've got, as I say before, the Discord server that you can all build up friends. Hopefully, if people start joining the server, people to talk to, or message me directly on either Discord or Twitter. Links of which are on King's Eye's page, kingseyes.life on the SaiyanVader part of the podcast section. Message me directly and I can be someone for you to talk to. That's the more serious bit. Now to the epitome of the episode. I'd say this episode was really about humanity and dealing with the coronavirus. So there are two assessments I'm going to make here. Coronavirus, you have failed this planet, and we will fucking get rid of you, you prick. Right? You're not beating us. My hearts go out to anyone who's lost someone to this virus, the same way it does with anyone who's lost anyone to anything. But I tell you what, coronavirus, we're going to beat you, so you can fuck off. We, as a race, are going to beat this. We can bounce back from this. That is the brilliance of humanity. And that is why the second judgment I make in this episode is humanity, you have not failed. You have done such a good job at being there for each other and being there for other people. Key workers, thank you so much. Everyone who stays inside, thank you so much. And everyone who is there for all their friends and family, thank you so much. Humanity, you haven't failed. And together, we will beat this virus. That is my you have failed for this week. A bit more heavy than usual. I do still hope you enjoyed. And join me next week when I talk about who the fuck knows at this point. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'll catch you next week.